What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides, and we are back here at Walker Ford because guess what? It is the big day we've all been waiting for. This is my 2020 Shelby GT350R Heritage Edition. And what I want to do is right off the bat, I want to thank all of you for helping to make this dream of mine possible, being able to get my very own Shelby GT350, and on top of that an R, and on top of that a Heritage Edition. But what I want to do, this is going to be the first of many reviews, lots of content that we're going to share together with this amazing car, but I wanted to kind of take you step by step by step through the whole process of the vehicle being dropped off, the vehicle going through PDI, which is known as pre-delivery inspection, and then of course the big moment, taking delivery of my very own Shelby. Now, what's really cool is that the vehicle was dropped off in the wee hours of the morning, so nobody has touched it. And I want to show you exactly what does the car look like when it leaves the factory and goes on that whole process. Because remember, it was built in Flat Rock, Michigan, gets put on a train, was delivered to Tampa, Florida, and then was placed on a truck and brought here to Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida. So let's go ahead. I want to show you exactly what the Shelby GT350R looks like before anybody lays a hand on it. Let's go ahead and dive in. The biggest thing you're going to see that's missing is all the way across the bottom of the front fascia. The splitter has been removed, and you'll notice the tabs and extra bodywork that's exposed down there. That allows the vehicle to be put onto the transporters a lot easier than if you had a big, huge splitter. So that is really the big missing point. And of course, the R has the larger splitter, so that's another reason on top of that. Now, as we come around the bend, let's see what we're working with here. You'll probably be saying to yourself, wow, Joe, your GT350R sits really high. The reason why is that there's actually shipping blocks. There's a yellow shipping block on each corner of my Shelby, and what that does is it allows the ride height to be brought up even more to aid with transportation processes. Now, during the PDI process, the pre-delivery inspection, there's going to be a lot of decals and emblems that are taken off. You'll notice on each wheel, there's this little sticker, this peel sticker. This comes from the factory like that to show that this is a new wheel, freshly manufactured for the GT350R. And these are those carbon fiber wheels, which I can't wait to drive long distance and really take down some real twisty turns. Now, as we go down the side, some of those decals you'll see, it all deals with shipping. So it actually tells the truck driver where the Shelby can be placed. Only in these three sections, nowhere else on the transporter. You're gonna have extra labels telling you where your parts content is from. You'll notice vinyl stickers placed on the doors with some foam. This is all to protect, so when people are opening and closing your door, if they have rings, they're not gonna scratch the beautiful Wimbledon white. And then of course the foam blocks is so when you open up the door, it's not gonna bump into any other vehicle that's parked nearby. You'll also notice a large barcode. So just like when you're going to the grocery store buying your Twinkies, they scan the Shelby as it goes through the whole manufacturing process. We keep working our way back. The biggest thing besides the splitter is going to be the painted carbon fiber rear spoilers. So you'll notice they take that shipping vinyl, stick it all over the black spoiler to protect it from getting scratched. But other than that, that is the main thing from front down the driver's side to the back side of the vehicle. Let's go ahead, check out the passenger side and see what the shipping process does to your Shelby GT350. All right guys, passenger side, it's actually a lot simpler on the outside. There's no foam block, they just put a little bit of vinyl there, and if you notice in that back corner window, you'll see a label, and because we got the allocation, it says special order, because remember, Walker Ford had already used their allocation for their GT350R. But I'm gonna open up the door and you're gonna notice the massive splitter all in bubble tape with some cardboard. They literally just belted in to the passenger side. Both the driver and the passenger seats have plastic. Of course, they put clear vinyl plastic on all the gauges and the infotainment system so that does not get scratched during the whole delivery process. And then the final bit that you'll see are the blue stickers to protect the Ford Performance badges. That's all going to be taken off during that pre-delivery inspection. What we're going to do is we're now going to go to the day that I was here, because remember, this was actually delivered the day before, you're gonna be there when I first see the Shelby and be the first person here at Walker Ford to fire her up. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, guys, it's that moment. The car showed up here at Walker Ford. It actually showed up in the wee hours of the morning when nobody was here. They have gate code access. They unloaded the vehicle in the service drive. This is the first time. So Walker Ford, my great association with them, they're allowing me to be the first person to fire her up and move her, because what this process is gonna be, I'm taking you through the whole process of going through PDI, pre-delivery inspection, then we're gonna put some parts on, and then will be that big moment where we get to take her home. But let's go ahead, come with me. We're gonna get in my new Shelby GT350R Heritage Edition. It really is happening. I have all the keys. This is what the keys look like when you get your vehicle. They're all in these condoms. So let's go ahead and follow me as we go. I'm getting a little choked up here. So they brought it in the service drive, dropping into the Recaros. It really is a special, it's a special moment. Let me adjust the seat real quick. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up. I think we need to open up the exhaust here. Alcantara wrap steering wheel, the red stripe. I just want to say thank you to all of you for making this possible. We're going to move it back to the body shop area where they're going to hold on to it until Monday so we can do the beginning of the PDI process. So let's go ahead, follow with me as we go back there. So we have her tucked in very nicely. It's almost like I had a bed sheet to cover her up. This is where she's gonna stay for Sunday and into early Monday morning, but we're gonna be back right here at Walker Ford. Definitely gotta thank Don, the body shop manager, for allowing Shelby here some access to sleep instead of sitting out in the parking lot. But we're gonna start off with PDI, that's the pre-delivery inspection. We're gonna look over the car, they check over the fluids, the whole 9 yards. They're gonna take all of the suspension blocks and whatnot for shipping. They're gonna take that out, and then that's when we're gonna then send it over to Justin, and we're gonna install those camber plates, the adjustable camber plates that go on top of the shock top mounts, and then we'll go into detailing and then the rest of the process. But the great news is you're gonna be there every step of the way, so I will see you bright and early Monday morning. All right, guys, we're back here. We got Jason's garage area. We're gonna go through the pre-delivery inspection. Now, I wanted to take a moment here to share with you what does the underneath side, the bottom side of the GT350R look like. I've actually never seen one up on a lift in person with my own eyes. So I'm just gonna take you through and just kind of let you see what is underneath a GT350R. So come on and follow me underneath here. You can see the rear diffuser back here. Of course, we have your diff cooler. That's all gonna be hidden here. Rear belly pan. So you have a rear tail pan with aerodynamic aids in the back. So that's to help bring as much air as they can, transfer it back out. It's all about aerodynamic efficiency, cooling, and it's not just about engine cooling. You gotta take into consideration the transmission cooling, the diff cooling. Now out back, you can see how the exhaust comes towards the rear. Of course, you got your lower control arms here, those meaty 315s. Remember, 315 on the width. And I don't know if Victor can show you, but up all the way there is where you're gonna find those blocks. It's kind of hard to see on the shock, the bright yellow shock top blocks up there. That was those spacers that we were talking about earlier to allow the vehicle to travel up and down the trailer. Now, what Jason is doing right now is that he's attaching the front splitter. So step one, besides putting it on a lift and getting it up on the air, is to get that massive front splitter. The GT350R has a wider splitter than the standard GT350. And the great news is, unlike some other cars where they may use just a bunch of plastic pop rivets and screws, this you're actually using, just like you can see back here, actual metal. So that's the nice touch that you're gonna get. And it makes it actually easier. I was talking with Jason and he actually said it's easier to put a front splitter on a GT350 or a GT350R than on your standard Mustang GT. So I'm gonna have Victor kind of go up there and show you what Jason is doing. Right now he's getting the area prepped. He's got the splitter on the top of his Snap-on toolbox. Obviously, Snap-on is the brand you want to see when you go to your shops. And you can see the front belly pan here. We've inspected the front belly pan, no damage. That's another area during shipping that even though we try to maximize as much height out of it as we can with the spacers, with taking the splitter off, sometimes there is still damage there. But the splitter is actually on the top of his toolbox, and Victor's gonna show you what that splitter looks like there. Very massive, and that's not only for downforce, but also for keeping air from going underneath the bottom of the car. Now, one thing I wanna showcase is I'm gonna have Victor come in a little closer and show you that Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. So I've always talked about how much I love rowing through that 6-speed. Really cool to see the underneath. There it is, bolted to the back of the engine, and that really is the sweet spot in what makes the GT350 and the GT350R so amazing to drive. But we're gonna go ahead, let Jason get this splitter on, and then we're gonna pick up the process in a few moments. So I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, now it's time to put the splitter on. And one thing that Jason actually warned me about so that I didn't freak out is that the instructions tell you to get out a rubber mallet and knock the splitter into place. So right now you can see that massive splitter. He's got the rubber mallet. That's an official Ford Performance rubber mallet that he's nailing that splitter to the front end of the vehicle. And what's interesting is that if you have a dealership that doesn't follow this process like the instructions say, that's where you could run into problems of having a major gap between the splitter and the underside of the front fascia. So by going this route, it's a nice, sturdy, clean setup that's gonna lock in all those tabs so that the splitter is totally secure. All right guys, now that we have the splitter on, the next step is, like I was telling you, these bright yellow shipping blocks. These are placed there to bring that height level up so that it could go up and down the transporter ramps easily. These are the ones from the front, very, very heavy urethane. We're gonna have Jason pull out the last one on the driver's side of the rear. The rear's a little trickier, so it may take a little finagling to get it out, but we're gonna get it out and allow that R to really sit well. So he's gonna jump in there and work his magic, being the PDI specialist here at Walker Ford. Like I said, the rear is a little bit trickier than the front. The front actually came out in a couple seconds. There he goes, look at that. Great job. And of course, we have the official Ford Performance racing bag here to put those spacers in. All right, guys, we have the Shelby fired up. You hear that Voodoo V8. What we're doing is we're going through the whole process to make sure everything works. Checking your hazards, your turn signals, looking for leaks, making sure the exhaust valve opens and closes. These are all things that are part of that pre-delivery inspection. All right, guys, very special moment. We got PDI done. We are now taking it to the gas station to put a full tank of fuel in her. Obviously, during shipping, they do not fill the tank all the way up, just enough to get a few things done. But just an amazing experience to be in my very own Shelby GT350, this one, and our Heritage. But now we're gonna pull in this gas station, pump some fuel, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our fueled up. We're now heading back to Walker Ford. So special. Just having the car and being able to share it with all of you makes it even that much more special. And the fact that we got the Heritage Edition, it's just the cherry on top. It really is. But just the sound of that engine, unbelievable. Very, very special moment. So glad to be able to share this first drive. That's what's made this even better, is that the great people at Walker Ford, basically Jason is the only other person that's really driven this at Walker Ford for the PDI part of it. Everything else has been moi. So really just lucky to have that great communication and that great association with Walker Ford. But let's wind it out a little bit, shall we? It's a great sound. It sounds so good with the resonator delete, just loud enough. Oh man. But we're gonna get back to Walker Ford, do a little bit more, and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. This has been a very special process, a very special event in my life that I am so grateful to be able to share with you, because it's because of all of you, your support, your dedication to Rady's Rides, that we have been able to track one of these down. We got the allocation. I'm so glad that I could kind of just share every little step from the time that it was unloaded by the truck. We went, moved it for the PDI process, showed that off, showed the first drive, and now here we are after I took delivery. I'm sure you saw that live video. If you did not, I'll leave the link at the end of this one. But it's been an honor to be able to work with Walker Ford to make this happen. It's definitely been an honor to share this with all of you guys. I look forward to many more fun times with the GT350R, and I definitely want you along in that passenger seat with me. I'm not even gonna take Victor. We'll just leave him on the side of the road, only you and I. But if it's experiences like this that you wanna keep seeing on Rady's Rides, where we show you some of the behind the scenes stuff, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you wanna help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Even though we would leave them on the side of the road, we still gotta thank Crown Vic, king of the camera, king of photography. He actually has a Polaroid instant camera tattooed on his bag. So that shows you his dedication to the photography world. Thank you, Victor, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.